Hi everyone, welcome to this new discussion. So today we are to talk about the last form of essay in this Purp Comm series. In our previous lessons or previous videos, you have watched informative essay, you have also watched narrative essay as well as opinion essay. Today we are to talk about persuasive essay. So let's find and identify what persuasive essay is. Persuasive essay is like a debate on the paper. You are trying to convince others that your opinion is the best by using logic and reason. Your goal is to make your readers agree with your opinion or take action about it. So when we're making our persuasive essay, we have to ensure that people agree to your viewpoint or your perspective and they will do something about it. And of course, persuasive essay is to show reason why your idea is better than the other. Persuasive essay is also called as argumentative essay. So it's important that we take side, present our evidence, all right, by using persuasive devices. Where do we usually see persuasive writings? So in advertisements, we see them. We also see them in the opinion pages of the newspaper. We also see them in certain blogs. Why we should travel to this place, then go to this particular place. Speeches as well. So we have heard, we have read, and we have perhaps able to somehow make a draft on persuasive essays in the past. Now, today we are to talk about the different reasons. What are the things that we should do in order for us to make an effective persuasive essay? So these are the five common persuasive devices. So we'll talk about them one by one. Let's start with pathos. So pathos uses emotions or emotional language to make people feel for you. All right. So when using pathos to persuade other people, you wanted to incorporate your feelings, you wanted to or incorporate your emotion so that they will believe you, they perhaps will side you and they will do something for you. Like for example, if I do not attend classes, I will not be successful and my life will be miserable. So this specific statement uses emotion that perhaps if this person does not attend classes or this student does not attend classes, then the life will definitely change. It will become miserable, all right? And this person will not be successful. That is why perhaps there's going to be like a couple of sentences to support this or to add to this sentence. That is why you have to send me to school because if not, then my life will be miserable. Like another thing, probably some of you may have been in a relationship, no? And you have partners, boyfriends, or girlfriends, perhaps, who told you that my life won't be enough if you are not here. It's better that I will not live anymore if you will break up with me. So these words, okay, you're using languages or emotional languages to convince people to do something. That's what we call pathos. All right. So when you're convincing someone, incorporating emotion. That's what pathos is. Let us proceed to the next. Next one is what we call big names. So when we're using big names, we are using the name of experts or well-known people who support your position. Like for example, in spite of the challenges and circumstances in life, we should not give up. Nelson Mandela once said, education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. So you're using here the Nelson Mandela, which was a former president in South Africa, and who advocated for education. So when you are, all right, when you are trying to convince people and use big names, persons that are famous, probably psychologists, famous psychologists, presidents, or even artists, or even the Pope, all right, to convince them to support your stance. So that's what we call big names. Let us proceed to the next. The third one is what we call research and logos, all right, or logos. So using studies, data, charts, and illustrations, and particularly logic. So when we're using logos or logic, we have to uh, base our or back our statement or our claim with certain data or perhaps research results. Like, for example, the data reveals that students like interactive learning for them to consider the teaching effective. Thus, educators should do such. All right, so when we are teaching or when the teachers are teaching, they have to incorporate interactive learning so that students will become or consider the teaching effective. This is based on the data. And the research on logos or using logos in certain advertisements are pretty much very rampant. Like, for example, 9 out of 10 moms are using blah, 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 blah product. Okay, so that specific number may have, uh, or probably the number derived from a certain study that they have conducted. And with that, they are using that as well to encourage people, okay, to support their product. All right, now let us proceed to the fourth persuasive device. This persuasive device is what we call ethos. Ethos uses the language or uses language that shows that you are trustworthy and believable. When you are using ethos, you make yourself a credible person to give suggestions or to provide input about something. Like, for example, I have been an educator for 15 years. I recommend that this is the best method for us to use. So with that, all right, if this is the example, I'm trying to point it here that I have been an educator for 15 years. I have all the experience that I need for me to make assumptions based on the training that I've done in the past 15 years. Being on the field for 15 years, I have experienced the best and the worst of all circumstances. Therefore, it's necessary for us to use this best method. So when you're trying to live yourself or make yourself pretty much very credible, okay, that's what you're using ethos. Another, let's say I've been to this situation for a couple of times now, and I have observed that this is the best method that we should use. Right? So with that, you're using ethos. You're making yourself credible. You're making yourself trustworthy. Okay, next. And I think this is the last one of the five persuasive or common persuasive devices. We have Kairos. Kairos is using the sense of urgency. This is pretty common in marketing. This is pretty common in certain TV shows like Big Brother. All right, like for example, you only have 1 minute left to vote for your favorite housemate. Vote now to save them from eviction. So you're giving you the time of urgency, okay, or the sense of urgency. You're given let's say a limited time for you to do something or to act something. Another example, when you are waiting for, let's say today is September and it's past already September 9. So let's say in October. So in 10/10, okay, in October 10, there will be like Shopee sale or Lazada sale. You only have that particular day in order for you to make purchases. And when you do it during that particular time, then there are a couple of vouchers that you can take advantage for. All right. So there is a specific time. There is an urgency. When you check your applications, such as these e-commerce platforms like Shopee and Lazada, they are, or perhaps Alora or whatever, Shein or anything, right? They may have promotions that are only available for uh, within 2 hours of claiming, 15 hours of claiming, etc. So giving you a time for you to take advantage of it is already a persuasive device that they want you to purchase, but they're giving you the sense of urgency. So you have to do it on that particular part or that particular time in order for you to really get these vouchers. Okay, so since you have known already the five different persuasive devices, I'll be sharing with you a couple of tips in writing a persuasive essay. Of course, like similar what we have discussed in the past, you have to think of the topic. All right? You have to pick a side or suggest a particular solution that the readers may do. So, in your case, you have to pick whether you are agreeing or not agreeing about it, and you also have to understand who you're writing this persuasive essay for. Is your audience or is your audience a student, or are your audience perhaps parents? Are they educator or professionals? So you have to understand who you're writing for, so you will be able to use exactly the words or the or match the vocabulary that they may have in order for you to effectively communicate what you wanted to tell to them. Third, use logic and feelings to persuade. Okay, so here it's giving the logos, and you're also given the pathos for you to persuade. All right, so you may use that in order for you to touch the people that you're trying to make. I mean, you're trying to encourage or you're trying to persuade. Okay, and the fourth one is research your topic using trustworthy sources, and you have to take notes of these data that you're getting. So you have to explore as well. It's like a combination of an opinion and an informative essay because there's gonna be like certain sources. That's why there were like data, research, and logos. There's also big names. There's also big name that you can use, right, in order for you to support whatever your stand is about a certain topic. And of course, the last one, you have to consider both sides of the argument and explain why the other side is wrong. So when you're persuading people, you have to give the pro and the con, the pro of what you're supporting and the con of what you do not support. Like, for example, why should they visit this place, or why should they visit Siargao over Boracay? What's best in Siargao? What are the things that you can do in Siargao? And what are the perhaps bad experiences that people may have when they visit Boracay? So when you present these things, okay, in a persuasive essay, that makes you somehow be able to defend your choice, your side, by presenting both sides, okay, of the story. But your side is good and the other side is wrong. So that's what persuasive essay is. Now, since you have known already this persuasive essay, thank you very much for watching this short video. I hope you've learned something from it. And please always remember that when we're making a persuasive essay, we always wanted to persuade people to take action for it. Like right now, if you do not watch this video, if you do not learn persuasive essay, then it will be difficult for you to encourage people to do something. So you really have to do it. You really have to know the neat and grit of writing persuasive essays, so it will be easier for you to touch people's lives. All right. So thank you very much, and I'll see you again for next video. Goodbye for now.